Hello children, I am Namita teacher. I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to start third chapter, diversity in living things and their classification. From this lesson, half part we had studied in last video. Let's recall. First point in that is plants structure divided into root, stem, leaves, flower and fruits. Second point was two types of root was there. First one is taproot and second one is fibrous root. Third point, two types of leaves we had studied, simple leaves and compound leaves. Next one, two types of plants are there. One is flowering plant and the other one is non-flowering plant. Flowering plant, that plant which one bears flower, and non-flowering plant is that plant which one not bears flower. So children, today we are going to continue next part of the lesson. Here we will study criteria for classification of animals. In that we will study unicellular and multicellular animals, vertebrates and invertebrates animals, oviparous and viviparous animals, terrestrial, aquatic, aerial and amphibious animals. About all this we will study in today's video. So children, different animals have developed different shapes to survive in the environment. There is a great variety in the body structure of animals too. The amoeba that cannot be seen with our eyes, the huge elephant, the small snail, the fish that swims in water, kite that flies high in the sky, butterflies that flit around flowers, a house lizard that crawls on a wall are all animals. Each has different characteristics. Animals have body parts like a head, neck, torso, tail and limbs for movement. They have various organ systems which carry on various functions inside their body. In this respect, there is a lot of diversity in animals. Now, we will see what are the difference in the body structure of animals like a snake, a lizard, a tiger, a fish, an eagle, a hen, crab, housefly, an earthworm, a crocodile and a grasshopper and so many. We see a variety in animals with respect to their food as well as since animals depend on others for their food. They are found in places where food is available. Different animals have different methods of obtaining and eating food. This too leads to differences in their body structure. So children, whatever we had completed through this paragraph, we will see that one in easiest way. First point will be great diversity in the animals. They are modified according to the environment in which they register. Therefore, there are different characteristics in these animals. Most of the higher animals have head, neck, tail and limbs for movement. Second point, the food and feeding habits cause a structural difference in animals' body. Animals are either unicellular or multicellular. Animals like amoeba, paramecium be seen only under a microscope. So, children, for microscope we will see one experiment. That is, we will take a drop of water from a puddle and place it on a glass slide. Observe it under a microscope. What do we will see? When a drop of water from a puddle is seen under a microscope, innumerable microbes can be seen moving about in it. We will see the continuously moving amoeba. The paramecium is also a unicellular animal like the amoeba. Horse, bear, tortoise are multicellular animals. Now, children, here we will see what you mean by unicellular and multicellular animals. According to the number of cells, two types of cells are there. First one, we are talking about unicellular. Animals, those who are having only one cell, is called unicellular. Example, amoeba, paramecium and euglena. Second one is multicellular. Animals, those who are having more than one cell, or you can say many cells, is called multicellular animals. Example, human being, dog, tiger, etc. Then, after that, children, we will see one question was asking, what is the chain of bones in the center of our back called? Then, the chain of bones in the center of our body is called vertebrates. Now, related to vertebrates and invertebrates, we will see the animals with a vertebral column and those without it from two groups known as the vertebrate and invertebrate respectively. Snake, bird, fish and kangaroo. All these humans are vertebrate animals. Animals such as snail, cockroach, earthworm do not have a vertebrate column and therefore they are invertebrate animals. Now, according to our criteria, vertebrate means chain of bones in the center of our body is called vertebrate. Example, human being, bird, etc. Second one is our invertebrate. Animals doesn't have invertebrates column. Example, earthworm, snail, etc. is called invertebrate animals. Then next one is our name some animals which lay eggs and others which give birth to their young ones. So, children, in that we will include that all the birds lay eggs. The snail, and in that birds lay eggs. The snake and lizard also lay eggs. All the mammals such as cat, dog and human being give birth to young ones. This all is called a reproduction system. So, children, we have learned that producing another living things like one cell is called reproduction. A hen lays eggs and hatches them. After a few days, the young chicks hatch out of the eggs. a cow gives birth to a calf. Before that, the calf grows within the cow's body. According to the mode of reproduction, animals are classified into two types. The first one is oviparous animals and second one is viviparous animals. So children, we will see what you mean by oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous, they lay eggs, example bird, snake, etc. Viviparous, they give birth to their young ones. Example mammals. Mammals means cat, dog and human being all. So, according to habitat, now we will see animals are usually classified into terrestrial and aquatic animals. Animals like a frog, salamander, toad live in both places, namely land and water. Therefore, they are called amphibious animals. Now, one by one, we all see this one. A kite, an eagle, a crow, a butterfly, a honeybee. So children, we had studied two types of cell. After that, we had completed vertebrates animals and invertebrates animals. Then, according to mode of reproduction, there are two types of animals, oviparous animal and second one is viviparous animals. So, next one is our according to habitat. Animals are usually classified into terrestrial, aquatic, amphibious animals and aerial mode of life. These four types of animals are there. So, children, what do you mean by terrestrial? The animals, those who are living on land. For example, human being, dog, cat, etc. is called terrestrial animals. Second one, aquatic animals. Animals, those who are living only in water is called aquatic animals. Example, fishes. Third one is amphibious animals. Animals, those who are living on land as well as in water is called amphibious animals. Example, frog, toad, etc. Fourth one is aerial animals. Animals, those flying in the sky. Example, birds and some type of insects is called aerial animals. So children, today in this chapter we had completed first one, plants are classified on the basis of their height and the shape of stems, period of life cycle and habitat. Second one, in this lesson we had studied animals are classified on the basis of the cell structure, vertebrate column, method of reproduction and habitat. So children, I hope you all understood this lesson. So children, stay safe, healthy and happy. Thank you.